Welcome back. Glad you made it. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me once again. It is September 11th, 2024. It's Wednesday. Wherever you're tuning in from, if it's your first time, buckle up, buckle down. Where can you find these videos? On Instagram. Follow me there. Subscribe on the YouTube channel. Check out patreon.com/RobSedri if you'd like to physically, financially support the show. If you've been with me from the get-go, sending all the right back to you. If you're just joining us today, where can you find these videos? All over the internet. Where can you pick up any episode? Today could be your first episode. You could also tune in and watch the rest of the catalogs, but you could just literally jump in today, and today could be the best day of your life. Wherever you're tuning in from, whether it's Canada, down south in the United States, further down south in the Mexicos, over there in the Antarcticas, over there in Papua New Guinea, over there in Zimbabwe, over there in Senegal, Portugal, the Asiatic states, over there in the Middle East, over there in Africa, over there, all over Europe, all around the world, underwater, over water, hovering just above water, dipping, swimming with the sharks, swimming with the seals. You're a turtle. You got a seashell on you. You're half human, half turtle. The wagwan. To me familiar, of course. It's Wednesday. It is September 11th. It's a day of remembering, celebrating. No, wait, just remembering. Perhaps not celebrate, but remembering. So something happened on September 11th. Way back when I was a youngin, when I was a young blood, September 11th, remembering, celebrating remembering inside jobs, remembering partially quite really weird circumstances, remembering towers, remembering people coming together, perhaps maybe conspiring to get, remembering inside jobs. Celebrating inside jobs? For a short period, not for the outcome of the inside job, but the larger impacts of the partial, questionably maybe outside job, working with insiders and outsiders to bring jobs and, just boost social morale and add a little bit of cohesiveness to the morale of for a limited time only. So celebrating the inside jobs, celebrating towers, celebrating the brave men and women who go out there and show up when we need them most. Shout out to everybody from all corners of the world. Once again, remembering buildings, remembering flights, remembering nations that we are in good relations with, that may or may not have had partial responsibility to do with the bringing down some towers, but also remembering to forget, because like business with people who've got lots of money makes you remember, but you know what makes you forget quicker than it'll make you, a lot of money will make you. If you got that oil money, it's just a matter of business is what it is, and social cohesion and remembering towers and building structures and towers. Aim is important. Remembering aiming that's one thing that we all remember. Aiming is good or not. It's been a long time, but remembering nonetheless, remembering the fallen ones, but also remembering the ones that got back up. So it is September 11th. So let us take a moment to celebrate remembering, but then forgetting, and then going back to business, and then doing it again. So remembering all the towers, remembering and whatnot. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, it is September 11th. It is 2024. We're doing it together, gang. And I'd like to say thank you, 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 Joe. We did it, Joe. Thank you, Joe. We did it. Thank you. Thank you, Mama said. You're a coconut tree, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're a coconut tree, Mama said. coconuts fall on your head. And I said, Mama, you're Indian and you're wielding a megaphone. And I said, thank you. No, yeah. And it's also good to remember, they're eating your babies. They're eating the pets. Okay, they're eating the pets, eating the babies. They're coming in. They're eating the pets. They're eating babies. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Mama said you're coconut tree, and I said, Mama, you're a megaphone. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. It is Wednesday. It is the 11th. They're eating your babies in China. And China, no one's taxed China. I need to tax China more. And they gotta pay for our protection. Because we're providing protection. Thank you. Thank you, Joe. Thank you. Thank you. That was my recap of last night's presidential debate. It was actually a compilation of just overall events that has led us to the point that we are at right now. But that was exciting. I watched it. I don't know if many of you guys, millions of people apparently were watching it on different networks, and millions of people tuning in. Thank you. Thank you. There was a presidential debate last night. I'll say this. They're eating your babies. They're eating your pets. I like debates. I like it when people get together and they come back with different ideas from different sides and present things and they talk. I like mouth holes that open and words come out. I like humans. It went down last night. I'll say this. It was better than the debate versus Biden, because that one was just Merc City, mega, just taking shots. You know what I mean? But last night was at least it was a little bit some say it was a 3-on-1, multiple tag team championship versus 1-on-1 versus the title of the what? Thank you. It's because you gotta stay objective. That's what it is. So overall, better debate. Well, let's just give it up for that's good. That was a better debate. That was a way better debate than the first one with Biden. Because that one, I'm glad he's resting now. As some people should be. Individually speaking, some people should be resting. He should be resting. I'm glad that he's resting. And we'll see and whichever way the public decides or whoever's in charge of counting decides, then we'll all be happy for the results. Or some of us may be happy, other ones maybe half of us will be happy, the other half. I'm gonna always be happy regardless of the outcome, because we got to move forward. Doesn't matter, but there will come a time, and I believe it's in 2 months. And I'll get on the phone, I'll bring one on, I'll talk to one, then I'll bring the other in, and I'll talk to the other, and I'll make a deal. Thank you. So we'll see what happens. I don't know what will happen. Lots have been unraveling, of course. There's lots to be looking out for. It's good times to be alive, I'll say that, ladies and gentlemen. Who knows? We got a lot on our plates, globally speaking. There's power shifts in power and people in charge and weapons being... The Iranians are apparently now selling missiles, short-range missiles to the Russians. And sir, do you want the Ukraine to win or not? So do you want the Ukraine to win or not? Tell us if you want the Ukraine to win. I I just want the war to stop, to end. I just think it should end. But do you want the war? Are you not telling us that you don't want Ukraine to win the war? Like us sitting here behind a panel, we don't know nothing about. But you tell me that you don't want you don't want the war to be won by the Ukraine? Because we're sitting here and all of us know that the Ukraine should win. All of us being, of course, big time military men and women. All of us, because we've all done the duties on the front lines and we know what it takes to win a fight and put your life on the line and take a bullet. So you don't want the Ukraine to win? There was a beautiful lesson which we all learned when we were younger. In terms of fighting and winners, the outcome of a fight, when there is a fight, there are no losers in fighting. There's no losers in fighting. That's what I remember parentals telling the youngins and the teachers telling the youngins, and then you grow up and you're like, there's no losing in fighting. Danke. But yes, debates are cool. Of course, I'd like to see more, next round, if there is going to be I say like hold more debates. I do want to see presidential candidates moving forward be given ample amounts of just hallucinogenics and just see them melt in front of you, and then ask them questions then. That should be 90 minutes of just fill them up with MDMA so that they're happy in the beginning, dose them with shrooms, dose them with some ecstasy, give them a little bit of, just let them sit for a while, just, I don't know, a little bit of ayahuasca, a little bit of whatever you want to do. Let's do it. Truth serum in the neck. That's one other debate. Next debate, physicality. We got to bring in physicality. I've said this from the beginning and I will keep on saying, at one point or another, presidential candidates should go head to head, toe to toe, tit to tit, vag to clit, dick to dick if it's MM, because this time it's MF. But one time it'll be like MM, and another time it'll be like scissor time, because it'll one point in the future it might be FF. That's femme on femme, and then cat fights. But that's one young man's dream, and we shall see what happens in the future. Kamala was wearing black. Trump was wearing blue. That was good. Color choices, nice. Black, of course, wearing a black outfit is supposed to exude dominance and that's why the police wear the blacks. That's why the popo wears the black, because when you see them, and that's why black people wear black, dominance. So that was a thing. But blue's classic. And a red tie, blue, red, and white shirt, if I'm not mistaken. So that's basically the American flag. That's basically all the colors of the American flag. And then we'll see what happens. And then we'll see what happens. We all know which side we're supposed to do our thing. I don't get to vote. I do get to enjoy the global theater of shows that's on many a level. So it is nice. I'll say that. But we have to be working together. That's one thing. And also realizing that, don't you want the Ukraine to win? Thank you. I'll say this, ladies and gentlemen, that let's skirt, let's get right into it, because a lot of exciting things have been happening, of course. And I'll say, I was just thinking about this, whorehouses, should they, first of all, before we get into the actual physical, forget the place that you're used to, and there's a stationary place, there's a designated place, the whorehouses, But before we get into that, let's get into wouldn't you want to have, because like I do hear like the economy is like tough on everybody. Most people are like, oh, housing costs, cost of living, inflation, it's hard to save a buck, all this, that, and the other. Yeah, so people are, they're resorting to all sorts of, they're trying to get creative, and they're trying to lower their standards so that the circumstances don't seem as bad. You'll see a mom go into like, some sort of a, it's just like new labels. It might be like, a mom, maybe she got separated, maybe the dad passed away or something. She's got to move her kids into some sort of like it's not a halfway house. It's kind of like a, think of it as like a hostel for families. And nothing says, yes, I might potentially save $700 living at a hostel with my children. And it's good because like the hostel, it comes with a pool table. It comes with, you can share with as many people as are a bit, so we can cram more people in a hostel situation. It's temporary, short-term, temporary. You come in easy, you go in easy, you come out even easier. Now the price, you save $700, and the lessons and the trauma that your kids will endure, you yourself might endure, having to, see so many different random strangers, walks of life coming in and out of your life, shaping your everyday. One day everybody's sitting around the table playing Go Fish. Next day, somebody's bringing in a questionable partner. Things get escalated. We're late into the PMs, getting closer to the AMs. Shots go off, knives are out, cards are thrown on the table. The table is flipped over, but you are saving $700, and your children do get to hide under the pool table that's available for the, because you won't own the home. Like, that's out of the question. That is out of the question. As if you don't own it now, it is over. Unless something drastic changes positively. But know that your kids will come out. If they survive, they'll be resilient. Like if they survive the scurvy-ridden pirate home dweller next to you, and if they survive, the lady with the multiple raccoons, if they scratch your kids' eyes out, know that your kids, once they turn into adults and are able to comprehend and say, hey, mom did the best she could do, all right? Daddy wasn't there, daddy didn't care. 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 But they'll get resiliency out of that. So those are life lessons and a glimpse into communal living of sorts. So that is, what were we even talking about? I don't even know what we were talking about. Yes. Facilities, places where you can do stuff. And so whorehouses, I've thought about that. Like, I'm like, regular houses are out of the question, let alone whorehouses. When was the last time you saw a mom and pop whorehouse? Hard to come by these days. Keep getting shut down. Keep having to have, it's got to pay people off, keep it open again. It's a whole thing. But I said to myself, we've got the advantage of having apps these days, which are on our phone, by the ways. And the phones are getting upgraded, which don't even get me started on upgrades on the phone. The 16 apples are coming out. There's going to be 16 apples are coming out. It's going to be AI generated. So you can take a bite of the apple, show the apple to a stranger. The bitten apple will recognize the stranger and give you their life story. You can take their life story, put it back and take a bite out of the apple once again, shove the apple up your ass, put it inside you, and it will just there will be a hologram of your life and that person's life that you took a picture of, an amalgamation of your personal data mixed with their personal data and privacy and non-privacy coming together. AI out, there's going to be 16 apples, so I'm excited about that. It's going to be great because we're going to be integrating AI into the phones, and that's going to be the next thing. That's going to be it's going to be sweet. But I said to myself, man, whorehouses are there. It's hard to even get a regular place of living, let alone have whorehouses. But I said to myself, why not bring in some sort of a whorehouse on wheels, perhaps? That would be nice. So like some cars, I know you like to get around, whether you're in your own car, maybe you catch a cab or whatever. But I thought to myself, wouldn't it be nice to have mobile whorehouses on the, because who honestly wants to, like, I don't want to invest in a whorehouse. I'll use one partially for a limited time, but I'm not gonna go invest in a whorehouse. That's or maybe we will later on, we'll get into that as well. But for the time being, let us reflect on this little sweet topic right here. Mobile whorehouses are basically cars that can be rented out per minute, 10, 15 minutes, 20, 30 minutes, an hour or two if you like. They'll drop you off or pick you up with your whore in the back. Males, females, anybody can use this. It's on an app. It's going to be on an app. It's going to be AI generated by Apples. All right? Get in, do your business, get out. And no more having to be like, oh, I'm done. Me and my whore are done. But what are we going to do with this house? It's basically, you thought it was going to be like, this thing's going to fucking go up in value, but it's it's not even an asset anymore to own a whorehouse. It's liability, if anything. So instead of owning your whorehouse, opt for partial ownership, or just, it's kind of think of it as like, this is like, you dip in and out wherever you like. Partial ownership is it's timeshare, essentially, is what it is. Timeshare whorehouses, but mobile as well. Because people of the 2020s, of the roaring 20s and the 30s that are coming, they're going to be busy with many things. So instead of wasting your resources on a whorehouse, go for the mobile one. Makes sense. I know it changed my life, and I bet it can change yours too. Brought to you by Mobile Whorehouses. Get the app now. Batteries not included. But unless you'd like to take another look at the whorehouse example and say, hey man, what if I do want to invest? Because I'm a long-term player. I like to invest and watch it grow from the side. Mama said you're a coconut. I'll say this, that whorehouse or whore condo, which is the best investment for your buck? The good thing about whorehouse is that you're like, if you don't want any, if you want all corners of the facilities to yourselves, not sharing with any, if you don't want your building touching anybody else's building, then I think the whorehouse is right for you. But if you're like, I've taken a look at the traditional model of the whorehouse, but I like levels. I'm a fella that likes to kind of go above and look below. I'm that kind of fella or lady. All right. Well, then in that case, I'd suggest you opt for the whore condo, because that way you could actually stack them up. And one day you might want to just be like, I'm going to be in the foyer. I'm going to be in the lobby area with my whore, just doing my whore thing. But one day you might be like, you know what? The penthouse suite is looking awful. And guess what? You wouldn't have that option with a whorehouse. Because a whorehouse might be like, it might be touching nobody else's building, but it has limited floors. Think about that. If you like height, think about that. On the other side, if you like girth, if you like a wide, if you like it space, if you like to have the whores in the house filming, creating content, doing dirty dirt, collecting the bills, but also you want a little bit of area to let them out in the backyard, or maybe a side yard or a front yard, just to, let them kind of get some sun, kill off some germs, whatever, because you got to also keep in mind, a large building, the water bill, the electricity is a lot. But if you just get a big yard, you could put them out in the yard. The sun will kill 99% of the germs, and that's according to stats brought to you by experts. So lots of options, but I did think I thought to myself, I do need to bring something extra to the table, hence creating mobile whorehouses for everybody. Get it on the app today. Register first. No batteries included in this registration. You're registered now. Sign up today. Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, of course it's Wednesday, September the 11th, and we're coming in with the heat, cause you don't know how to do it any other way. You don't know how to do it any other way. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Wednesday. I'll say this, that, oftentimes a lot of people are like, I like to make love to my lady or my male, or But those are generally the two options, depending on who you are. And whatever your partner is, male or female, it doesn't matter. Where you're dealing with either or. There's only two options. But oftentimes you're like, yeah, I'm a great lover. I've been making love since whenevs. I've got plenty of experience. I know all the places. I know what to do. Oh, if I see a toe, I know how to curl it. If I see a belly button, I know how to touch it. If I see a rib cage, it's xylophone city. If I see extra fats on the hips, I grab it so that there's more weight for the push in. I grab it from behind, I grab it from the front. I know all the places where I'm supposed to touch. You'll say that to yourself and your partner. And it's been great. And you're like, yes, I know the obvious holes. There's the vaginal opening, of course. There's the grand opening of the vaginal opening of the grand opening of the vaginas. There's the penis. I know my penis, of course. There's a shaft. There's a head. There's balls. There's like 3, 4 balls. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 balls. Regular nuts. You got your butthole. You got your mouth. And you're like, those are the zones, man. You touch them, it feels good. You don't touch them, you're like, touch them anyway. That feels good. You say that to yourself. But oftentimes, there are other holes that I like to bring to your attention that are very much neglected in the lovemaking game, and that'll just amplify your lovemaking sesh with your partner. You're like, but you just mentioned all the holes. You just said the vag, the asshole, the tip of the cock, the mouth. What other holes could there be that I could be utilizing in my sex life that I'm not? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll say this. The nostrils, neglected. The ear holes, neglected. Nobody talks about it, but I'm telling you, it's a game changer. Next time you're making love, sweet love to your loved one. As they're about to climax, as you're about to climax, stick a finger up their nose. Now, don't go in fisting your partner in the nose. Start gently. Maybe use a little bit of lube, hopefully. They've got some sort of breathing issue. Maybe it's getting a little bit damp in the nostril area. Use that lube to just get in there and just hit the brain. First they'll be like, whoa, what do you do? But then they'll like it. Simultaneously, if you're doing that, if you're like, man, the head is great. I got, finger in the mouth, cock in the badge. Everything's going great. She's rolling back her eyes. We're on the right track, man. High fives and high fives. Yes, high fives indeed. But what if I told you a wet willy during climax goes a long way, Try it out. If it doesn't improve your sex life, well, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to help you here, fella. All right, wet willy your lover in the middle of lovemaking sesh. Put a finger. Don't go for, I've seen this far too often. Amateurs will get in there, 2 finger in the nose, right there. Okay, start with one. Always start with one. And don't go full in, all right? Use the tip, rub around the nostril area. You don't even need to go and rub around a little like that, or rub around a little bit, right there, rub around, and then we'll do one at a time. And then if she or he likes it, then you do 2, because there's 2 holes. And that's right. And you're like, should I douche my nose? If I know, that's a conversation you're gonna have to have later, because most of you have not even tried this. But I'm telling you right now, you douche your nose next time. You're like, I'm in there, knee deep in her nose or his nose, and it's changed. I feel a little brain, and don't we all? So it's good times. Try it out. Again, you're like, traditionally, I thought I knew all the places. The back of the knee is the place to go. I'm telling you right here, nostrils, ear holes, that shit. Oh, a little bit of just push in the side of the ear. Feel that earwax underneath your nails. Push further in. Touch brain, right there. Neurons. It'll be good. It'll be nice for everybody. But of course, take it easy, again, 1 ear at a time. Don't go, plugging both ears, because then you don't wanna, unless you wanna, but I'm telling you, start with 1. I'm telling you right now, start with 1. Thank you. I'll say this, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Wednesday, it is September 11th, of course. They say you gotta come clean, you gotta come clean, come clean. They'll say that, but no one has ever in the history of coming has actually ever come clean. And that's a little bit of a pickle of a situation, of a paradox, isn't it? Because they're like, you gotta come clean. As soon as you come, they're like, well, you gotta clean that up. Well, I thought I was coming clean, sir, ma'am. What do we have here? Come clean. You come on your pants, you come on yourself, you come on the other person, and you're like, oh, thanks for coming clean, but I gotta clean. So how does that work? If you're coming clean, why do we clean it up afterwards? Why do we clean it up afterwards if it's already clean? Somebody riddle me that right there. So we should either change the name of coming clean to coming dirty, or ask people to come dirty. It's time for you to come dirty. Because you can't, it riddles me. It doesn't help me sleep at night. And I like some questions to be answered for once. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Wednesday. Let's get into it. I believe Elon Musk is set to be the world's first trillionaire by 2027. They've recorded this, they've looked at the stats, they're looking at the trajectory. They're saying that he's on his way to become the first global trillionaire. Some others will follow suit in the next 5 years. We're going to have a handful, maybe even a few. We're going to have some trillionaires in the next 5 years or so. And then soon after that, in the next few decades, there's going to be even more trillionaires. Which is, trillionaires is basically, it's, I'll say this, first of all, let's, how do I feel about it? I feel like I can beat Elon Musk in becoming the world's first trillionaire. That's how confident I feel. I feel like it just takes literally all of us coming together, and you're like, but are there obstacles? Yes, of course, but there's like 8 billion of us. I don't know what portion of the 8 billion is babies that don't even contribute. So let's say there's like 4 billion contributing adults on this planet. I believe together we can help make me the world's first trillionaire. Patreon.com/RobSadri. I can do it before 2027. I make that promise to you. I get in there right now. I make a call to no one, but the money comes in, and I'm a trillionaire, and I make it happen. So Patreon.com/RobSadri. If you'd like to go there, make me because it's Elon Musk. There's like a billionaire, there's going to be a billionaire turned trillionaire in India. There's going to be like a Malaysian or like Indonesian guy that's going to be a trillionaire. And all I'm saying is, there's plenty of room, man. There's plenty of room in this sea of life, and there is fish to be fished. So, but again, it's not a matter of like, I don't even care about the Z. I don't even know. I didn't even bother to look up the number of zeros in a trillion. It's just too much. It's just way too much. It's too much. But I will do it. You're like, it's too much, but I will do it. With your help, we will do it together. You will take credit, I will take the trillion. Super simple, patreon.com/RobSadri. And at that point, with $1 trillion, there's many things that I will do. Leave a comment and let me know what you'd like to do with your trillionaire. If you had $1 trillion, if you had it, I'd buy all of you. I'd buy all of you. And then I think that's good enough money to buy. I would buy the earth. I'd buy, I don't know how much it costs to buy the earth, but I'd make a bid. If there was like, oh, the earth is on sale, I'd bid on it. With $1 trillion, I'd own everyone and everything. I would own everyone and everything. Mark my words. Check out patreon.com/RobSadri to make this dream possible. But also I would, and if I couldn't buy the earth, I'd buy a land. I'd buy a large sum of, I would buy Greenland in a heartbeat. I would go set up a little hut in Greenland, and I would just be like, come one, come all, but don't come at all, because it's But come, because I don't even need any money. I was gonna say bring in tourists for the monies, but I'm a trillionaire now, baby. But come in anyway, because there's a lot of room, come in. But the point is that if I were I'd buy a couple of countries. I'd legit buy a couple of countries. I would take all their laws and I would just reverse it, and whatever laws they've got in place, I would reverse it. Whatever, I don't care, because I'd do that, because it's my country now. I own you. I'd probably rent out, homes to all of you. I'd do that too. I would not allow you to own anything. I would, because I'm a trillionaire. I own everything now. It's all mine now. I would probably I'd probably buy the moon as well. I think that's good enough money to buy I'd buy the moon. And if you want to come to the moon in the future, when nukes go off, because when people keep on saying, did you not want the Ukraine to win, man? I guess he doesn't want us or the Ukraine to win, man. So just in case there's some nuke event in the horizon, just in case, I'd buy the moon. I'm off to the moon. If you want to come, I'm a trillionaire. You're welcome to come. You're welcome to come. It's free for you. If you just get there on your own using my stuff, get there on your own. I'd probably give everybody blackout tattoos from head to toe, just because I can afford, because tattoos are expensive as well. If you want like a full, but I would get everybody, I would make my whites get blackout tattoos, and I would make my blacks get whiteout tattoos. That's what I would do for my populace as your world trillionaire. I would also give, I'll spend a lot of time, it's a lot of money to spend. It's more money to spend than you can even spend in a day, but I will take I would buy Ferraris and Lamborghini. I just smash them into each other. I would probably build a home, but then I'd probably get like a wrecking ball, and I'd probably wreck that home, and I'd probably build one the next day or like the next hour. I'd 3D print a home, build it right then. I'd be like, come on in, psych, wrecking ball to the home. But then I'd build one immediately after, and I'd be like, get in there, I got $1 trillion. But what would you do with your $1 trillion? If you could, I'd give everybody a robot. I would give everybody a robot. I would take your brain I would use the 16 Apple AI phones to take all your, accumulated knowledge, whatever experiences, I'd put it in the robot that I've gifted you. I would make them go do whatever you don't want to do. They'll earn money for you. You get the money. You come back. All you got to do, you do got to fuck them at the end of the night. You have to fuck these robots, because I gifted the robots to you. I'm a trillionaire. I did it with your help, of course. And that's patreon.com/RobSadri. So yes, we've got till 2027. I'm optimistic about this. Of course, there's a few other people right there behind us, but I'm not looking behind. I'm looking to the future, man. Lady, I'm looking right at the future, dude. You feel me, fella? So that's patreon.com/RobSadri. Make me the world's first trillionaire. And again, I will buy as much as I can. I will buy it. But then I will also not live anywhere permanently. I'll do that. That's a pledge I'm willing to. I will buy everything, but I will not live anywhere permanently. I'll do that right there. So it's pretty hot. A trillionaire is pretty hot. That is nice. I'd probably have I'd probably have 1 million babies. I would probably have 1 million babies. With $1 trillion, I would probably have 1 million. I would go to each country from around the world. I would assume there's roughly 200 countries, give or take a few, depending on how we're feeling about their governments. There's a few countries in the world. I would probably have a baby from each country. 1 million babies divided up, different, and then I would get them together and I'd be like, I'm your father. Speaking of which, I believe the former actor, the actor who voiced I Am Your Father from the Star Wars trilogy, there's more of them, so it's not a trilogy, it's the Star Wars franchise. The guy that says, look here, Luke, I am your father, he died. He's a beautiful black man who died. And it's time for another beautiful black man to step in and take his place, which is why I am letting myself step into this place. I could definitely fill that hole. Not the same way, of course. He was great. He did fantastic for, great work. Great work. He said, look, Luke, I'm your father. I can do that exact same voice. I'll change it up. I'll make it my own. I can make it like a Luke, I your father. Come here, Luke. I could do that. We could do it differently this time. Look, Luke, am I puppy? Am I your daddy? Luke, am I? See, we could do it many different ways because it's 2025, getting there. Look, man, look, I know you showed up at the door. You got the DNA test. Seems like the DNA test proves that, Luke, I am your father. And cut. New generations, 25 other Star Wars movies. I will be part of the franchise. French fries? I'll have some French fries, please, of course. Luke, I will flip this grill. Luke, there is no way in hell I'm your father, because I got my tubes tied. Look, Luke, I got my tubes tied. I don't know what your mother did. I know we look alike. I know you got the power and the forces within you, and I'm inside you right now. Look here, son. I'm only using son as a metaphor, of course, because you're a young man and you got a good head on your shoulders. But look here, I am not your dad, all right? Trillionaire with 1 million babies, but I'm not your father. All right, get in here. I'll adopt you right now. Look, I'm here to adopt you, man. See, again, so many different angles. We could fucking hit this and make sure that people remember to forget and forget to remember, because you gotta bring it in. And they're eating your pets. Thank you. So, those are some of the things that are just happening in and around the world. So check out patreon.com/RobSadri, and I could again beat Elon Musk to 27, but he's got a head start. So you gotta get on there today, fam. Get in there today. I got chandeliers that'll be shaped like dildos hanging from every building that I create. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, of course, it's trillionaire babies. And what else is going on in and around the world? I'll say this. I believe Tyreek Hill. I saw the news, I saw the headline, I read an article. Tyreek Hill, a beautiful black man, plays for the Dolphins, was taken out of his car. He's driving, he's taken out of a car by police officers, handcuffed, put to the ground. I don't know much else, but let's try to figure out together what is going on here with Tyreek Hill and the whole situation with Dolphins and the police. First of all, Tyreek Hill plays for the Dolphins. Dolphins player Tyreek Hill dragged out of car by some long ago. First of all, I gotta ask myself, and I gotta put it out there to the public as well. Who are these Dolphins? Who are these Dolphins? What kind of sick game are they playing? Because last I checked, there's plenty of humans and plenty of human franchises and many of the, we've got so many things that we do together for each other. Sometimes apart, but sometimes together. But we are a species that works to. So where did we go wrong, ladies and gentlemen? Where did we go wrong that a beautiful black man has to go and play for another species? Dolphins? Is he playing? I have so many questions. How did these Dolphins get Tyreek Hill to play not only with them, but for them? Is Tyreek Hill half human, half fish. Because last I checked, according to the stats, dolphins reside in the water. So I don't know how Tyreek Hill, a human, and color has nothing to do with a human being here. Please put it aside. We want to move forward. A man is playing for some dolphins. Dolphins. Where did we go wrong as a society? What did we not do? Where did we not pay attention? Where were we supposed to pay attention to? Where? When? Who? What is the game that the Dolphins are asking Tyreek Hill to play? And I'd like to take this time to ask directly, Tyreek, are you okay? What have they done to you, Tyreek? These sick Dolphins, how did they get to you? How did they wiggle out of water? How did they even approach you? That's the first thing that I'd like to. How did these dolphins who are allegedly in the water, but then coming here, getting people to play with them, for them, sick. I don't know how they're paying him. I don't know how much they're paying. I don't even know what they're paying him with. Because these dolphins, as far as I know, they're in there eating smaller fish, maybe raping each other, and maybe a couple of humans and maybe saving a couple of humans, maybe also raping a couple of humans if they can get their hands on them. And staying wet, and then coming in every once in a while, joining a surf, and then every once in a while they make the Japanese look like they're not good people because they like, oh, look at the dolphins, we're told to be with it. Who set up the cameras then? The Cove? Who set up the cameras then, making the Japanese not look like caring individuals when we full well know that the Japanese are really caring people? Oh, look at me bleeding, I'm a dolphin, I'm in the water. Take a look at all the blood in the water, get impacted, don't eat a dolphin. It's like, bitch. Humans, dolphin, and a whole lot of shit in between, but like down here and other stuff below it as well. But human first, dolphin second, all right? So quit it with your documentaries, dolphins. And also, how are you paying a human? You don't even have hands. You literally don't even have hands, mate. You know what I mean? So you're in there getting wet. You got Tyreek Hill. Now, this is the first instance where I hear a human is playing for another species, which is sad. But the world is also changing, and I am a man who's open to change. So I don't know how much they're paying him. I don't know what they're paying him with. But if they want to go to patreon.com/RobSadra and start sliding in some sardine money, then I guess push comes to shove then, dolphins. Let's go. I would rescue Tyreek myself individually, but I'm only one man and I can't be in different places all at the same time. So perhaps this could be a collective gathering of souls, minds, spirits, physical entities getting together and saying enough is enough. No other species gets to come in here and push our people around, man. All right, you sick freaks in the water doing sick shit. Are they trying to get them to start breathing underwater? Are they trying to... questions to be asked. But that's just one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is that Tyreek Hill, beautiful black man, gets pulled over in his beautiful car by police officers. And there was words that were exchanged. And then eventually Tyreek was dragged out of the car and then cuffed and then put to the ground. And then so I'm always like, Wagwan, who's in the right? Who's in the left? Who's left in the middle? Whose fault is it anyway? Was there anyone who, how, when, where, why in a car driving? When? Some time ago. How? Using driving, so the feet were involved, hands were involved. I'll say this: if you wanna, I don't know who to blame on this one. I will say let's take it, let's split the blame. Let's split the blame. Let's take it from different sides. Let's first blame Tyreek, and then we'll switch it around and we'll fully blame. Okay, so first blaming Tyreek. Tyreek, I will say this for the whole playing for the Dolphins thing, fam. Not looking, it's high. But it's no bueno in my eye, to be honest with you. But then again, I'm not gonna stand here like I've got higher moral ground to be like, if they're paying well, I don't know how their pay structure works exactly, and again, what they're paying you with. If they're playing with your mind using sound waves, if they are fucking altering your state of consciousness, if they're getting in there, it's again, if you're okay, we're okay. If you're happy, we're happy for you. But I'll say, let's blame Tyreek on this one. First of all. Could Tyreek have been, could he have been less black during the taking? Could he have, or could he have been more black? Could he have been more black? Where did he go wrong? Could he have been more black or less black? If you would have liked to see Tyreek be more or less black in this particular event that just occurred, leave a comment. Which one would you rather? Tyreek to be less black, more black? He was adequately black. You could leave a comment. Leave a comment. Could he have, you're like, how could he have been more black? How could he have been more black? He's already black. How could he have been more black? He could have totally turned up the music, and when speaking to the officers, he could have totally called them the N-word. Like, you know what I mean? Get in there, use it, because it's like, not many of us get to use it. And some of us do, some of us don't, depending on the situation. So he could have used it. He could have used it. He didn't. In that case, he definitely was not being as fully black as possible. So I'd like to see that happen in the future. If you are a black man getting, pulled over, but call the officers the N-word. Call the officers the N-word. He could have, how else could he have, you could have turned up the volume of because you have a beautiful car. You could have definitely turned, and that's not even a black or white, because I listen to my music in my car. When I'm not, if I'm on the highway, it's fucking cranked up, baby. Going deaf. It's nice. So crank it up. The volume could have been higher. That's I'm not going to attribute to that being more black, but it could have been a little bit more like, vibing. You could have been less black. You could have been less black. You easily could have been less black. Nowadays, everybody's doing like skincare, fucking potions to rejuvenate youth, bring it in, less wrinkles on your nut sacks. That's the biggest crave in Hollywood and around the world. Everybody's like, I don't want my balls to be wrinkly. I fucking, I've been, some people are like, oh, but I like a ball sack that's a little bit seasoned, that's a little bit experienced. I like all the wrinkles on my balls. Please and thank you. You'll do that. Same situation, different, of course, but more or less, how could you have been less black? Makeup, you get pulled over, pancake your face, go white, instant pat, just to have a big powder, right? Just a bucket of powder, dump it on your face, white. Everything will just, it's not gonna help 100% of times, but like it'll definitely, ease a little bit of the whatevs. I'm just saying. Again, we just spoke about this probably in last video, coincidentally. What a coincidence. Fucking guys get pulled over, they're like, oh, how could I fight this ticket? Or I'm about to get a ticket. How could I, if you had fake tits that I just made in the last video, you slap those fake tits on your body, 50% higher chances in getting out of the situation, or at least reducing the levels of altercation that are about to unfold in front of your eyes. So try different things. Again, be more black, be less black, be yourself. There are also, you could have told me there's hyper-realistic face masks, which are incredible, like hyper-realistic. You've seen the videos online, it's amazing. I don't know who they probably started off with the movie sets. You've seen them, like they came way back from the Mission Impossible movies. That was the first time we're like, that's not, holy shit, that's Tom Cruise underneath. You could do that now in real life. You could literally look like anyone. So if you're about to get pulled over, you're a little bit like, I don't know how this is gonna go if I'm being fully myself. Be somebody else. Put a mask on, fake tits. You could be white chicks. In cars in literally 2 seconds, fam. Hands on the wheels, great. You know what? If you could do that, you could do the fake masks. Work fantastic. Not all the time. Some of the time, of course. So fully, so that's, I don't even know what that is, but that's fully on, I'm going to put that one right there. Fully on Tyreek. But then also reverse it. He's done nothing wrong. He has done nothing wrong. The only thing that he's guilty of is being a black man living in 2024. It's the cops. It's all the cops. Every single cop, each and every day, every interaction that they get with any individual that's not a cop will result into some sort of altercation, because that's all cops. And let's generalize together, because all cops, and defund the cops, man, because this is all they do. Look here again, another black man on the ground, man. Totally take down the cops, man. All the cops are pegs. So, whose fault was it? I'll leave it up to you, of course. The truth is oftentimes somewhere in the middle. But also, don't you want the Ukraine to win, man? Thank you, coconut. I will, it's a lot of pressure if you're getting pulled over, and if you're pulling somebody over, those are never fun interactions for anybody. I'll say that. I do want to see less. Let us move beyond pulling people over in terms of, but also sometimes you need to pull people over. Sometimes, but also I'll say this, also like black cop, all that aside, if you're rich and famous for whatever, I don't get why people get pulled over, to be honest with you. That's personally speaking. Like if you reached a couple of I don't even know what they talk about when they say, oh, he's on a new bracket. If you get yourself caught up in a mathematical equation that's new to you, and they say you're in a new bracket now, son, you're in a new tax bracket, you're like, what? Tax brackets. So if you're in a new or if you're maybe it's been passed down to you, depends on your sitch, doesn't matter. But if you've got enough brackets, you should be able to just minor things, unless again, rape, murder aside, but everything else, you should just go about life and just do whatever you want, and just throw a little bit of cash behind you and just watch the lesser than just get on their knees and just stuff it in their panties. That's what it should. That's the whole point of this. We all want to strive for throwing the cash up in the air. That's why I'm trying to become a trillionaire. So check out patreon.com/Robster so I can throw it up in the air, man. Fucking right there, and then I'll get money guns and I'll fucking I'll have a robot driving my Lambo, and I'll fucking get on the sunroof and just fucking tits out, just money guns behind me on the highway. But that's I got 2 years to work my way up to that. And guess what? Elon's getting not younger. And this guy, yeah. So whose fault was it? It's for the public to decide, and it's for the judges, and it's for at the end of the day, I want to see everybody shake hands. I want to see everybody just realize that, again, getting pulled over and being pulled over and putting somebody in, it's uncomfortable situations. It's difficult. Everybody has difficult jobs are difficult. Interacting with people sometimes may be challenging in specific jobs and circumstances. Let us not call each other names and use them. It's a difficult situation. Everybody could have been a little bit more chill from my understanding, but also everybody also could have been more or less black. Everybody could have been more or less chill, more or less aggro as well. The officers could have been more aggro as well. The officers could have actually just went tase first to the neck. Easily they could have done that, but they didn't. So this is a learning experience. Thank you. I'll say this. This is something that's happened recently. It's kind of like a closing of a chapter, if you will, ladies and gentlemen, in and around the world. It's sometimes they say when there's a door that's closed, there's also a door that's maybe left open. There may be a door that's got loose hinges. There's a back door. when the premise is when the doors are like, you know, they've been boarded and there's like nails and like there's screws holding the door. You can't open one door. Look to find other doors. If there's no other available door, there's maybe potentially a window of sorts. If there's no window, look for a chimney. If there's no chimney, look for a trap door. If there's no trap door, look around. Are you even at a building or a house or any place resembling some sort of a place of either business or residence are you even near a facility that kind of resembles a building structure? That's the first thing you should ask yourself. You're like, I can't find the door here, man. All the doors are locked. There's no doors. You're in the middle of the fucking woods, man. You're in the middle of the jungle right now. And you're like, there are no doors here. Guess what? You're in the wrong place. But most often when a door does close, a door opens. Recently, there are no more. It's done. It's over. But also there's a little opportunity to bank on this. If you're with me, let's stay on track together. There's no more Chinese babies up for sale. China put the kibosh on the whole thing. It's over. They're not selling any more babies to any other. Like if you wanted the Chinese baby, and if you were like rich, powerful, or just doing well, and you don't have to be like super rich, or but if you had enough ample amounts of, you know, if you had enough resources to fill in the paperwork and show that you could support a baby, and you wanted that baby to be a Chinese baby, you could have done that in the past. You could have done that, and if your testicles, if God, if nature, whatever you believe in, if whatever went wrong with your testicles, all right, I don't know what happened. Maybe you got one testicle. Maybe you got two testicles. Maybe they're flattened testicle. Maybe you like sat on them really hard in like the 5th grade. I don't know your life story. Maybe you got testicles that don't produce the kind of semen in women that actually swim. Maybe you got them ones that kind of fucking do the stank a leg and just go in circles, but doesn't matter. Or maybe you got great testicles that produce the finest of sperms, but the woman you fell in love with, she is dry. She's great on the outside, even on the inside, like everywhere else for the most part, like she's 99%, like 75, 85% banging, everything's great. Down their situation, cyst city, fam. All right, and she had a whole bunch of, you know what I mean? Went in there one too many times. She went in there maybe with God knows what, and she can't get pregnant. Or maybe she's just a good human being who's just had a whole, because not everybody gets a full deck of the card when they're rolling the dice. So she's a good lady with the good ovaries and whatever. It's dry now. It was wet before you came, but now it's dry for whatever reason. She can't get pregnant. And you were like, you know what? We're gonna put all that aside, and we're gonna live our lives and work till our like 30s and 40s and maybe even 50s. But once we're financially stable, baby, we're gonna go adopt a Chinese baby and say that we have a Chinese baby. You could have been black and white, a nice interracial couple, throwing a Chinese baby, and you're just fucking with everybody's head because you're like, how did you get that baby? White woman, black man, how did you get it? And don't even talk about it. Just bring your baby and just like put it on the table and be like, yeah, it's our baby. Nothing to see here, just a very diverse family. Don't ask, don't tell. It was a great time. You could have done that before. You could have done that like up until very recently, but you can't anymore. It's over. It's over. You can no longer buy Chinese babies. I'll say this. There's always a way. There's always a way. You could totally find a Chinese man and woman, get an egg, freeze the egg, bring the egg over, milk a Chinese man in China or anywhere else you find him, it doesn't even matter. Milk him, freeze his sperm. When you want to get pregnant, put it in the oven, turn it up to 360, set it there for 24 hours, come back, check on it. Next thing you know, it's Chinese baby. That's how you beat the system, or partially get around the system. So that's one way of doing it, but that's just for the people who want to specifically have Chinese babies. Also, I do see an opportunity for Chinese babies to go to the moon. Chinese babies are the next Bitcoin, because it was just fiat Chinese babies till like a couple of days ago. It was just like you could build as many as you want. You can print as many Chinese babies as you like. There's no limit to this thing. There's unlimited, just fiat, just nothing back in these Chinese babies. Unlimited, not accounted for, not backed up by gold or nothing, just unlimited amounts. And that's why they're losing their value. But now that you put a cap on the Chinese baby, you could actually have a Chinese baby that could be going up to $1 million. So the question I asked, could the Chinese baby hit $1 million? And how soon will it hit? Because if you come out if you're not biologically Chinese yourself, and if you can't have enough resources right now to be like, oh, I gotta put enough money away to go freeze it. If you could somehow, again, get yourself some eggs and a sperm and just put in the freezer 10, 15 years down the line when there is nobody else having Chinese babies except Chinese people, you could fucking get in there. You know what I'm talking about? Who knows? Maybe some say it might even be more than $1 million. Some say it might be 10 million for a Chinese baby. If you want to adopt a Chinese baby in 2035, 10 million for a trillionaire, chump change. So opportunities, of course. And I like to just say, thank you. We did it. Thank you. Check out patreon.com/Rob Sandra. I'll be back here again on Friday. Peace.